Pokemon just made more money per pack without having to charge you any more money. So this is the smartest move Pokemon has made in 10 years. And it goes hand in hand with a couple of business moves they've been making. And if you like Pokemon cards, then maybe you should check out what's going on. But first, I'm going to eat my little piece of cheese here. I'm going to eat my piece of cheese and then tell you what's going on. So in 2022, Pokemon agreed to buy Millennium Print Group. That's a group that, it's a big printing facility that makes trading cards. Millennium Print Group signed the largest U.S. manufacturing lease of 2025. It will occupy 1.27 million square feet campus just to print cards. That's a lot of space, and that's a lot of cards. If you haven't figured it out, 1.27 million square feet is a lot. Wow, that's a big number. That's a lot of cards they're getting ready to print. Now we have this news. The Pokemon Company International enters into agreement to acquire Excell Brands. This is something that maybe you haven't heard of. Pokemon likes to use distribution companies. They like to use MJ Holdings, and if you look at the pop-up here, there's a video about how MJ Holdings kind of pissed them off. But just to summarize, so MJ Holdings basically puts Pokemon cards on Walmart shelves, and they got caught holding product back, giving the product to another company that just happens to be them, GT Collectibles, and then GT Collectibles sold the same stuff that was supposed to go on Walmart shelves on Walmart Online, and they jacked the price up. So that way they didn't have to sell it for MSRP. There was no official statement, but Pokemon was pissed. Like, it's pretty obvious Pokemon was pissed about this. Everybody spam emailed them. It was a whole thing, right? People were like, your own distributor isn't respecting your MSRP, bro. Like, you have no control over the situation. And they've been criticized. Pokemon's been criticized for not having any control over the MSRP situation. They decide what MSRP is, and they really have a strategy behind it. And then the demand is so high, and the whole scalping situation, and then they're having to rely on Target and Walmart and Costco and these big name brands now. They're relying more on these companies instead of like LGSs, local gaming stores. And that's why your local store has less Pokemon cards than normal, but Walmart has a lot. They think that it's because these places are more likely to set limits and stop the scalpers. Well, is it really working? No, but that's a whole other tangent, bro. So Pokemon Center is like more of an official distributor, but they just use FedEx. So Pokemon Center uses FedEx to ship cards directly to you, right? Otherwise, their stuff has to go through MJ Holdings. So it goes Pokemon, prints the cards, and then MJ Holdings gets a hold of it, and they give it to Walmart, and the Walmart gives it to you. Or really, Walmart gives it to a scalper, and the scalper gives it to you, and there's all these extra levels, and that's why you pay so much for cards. Excell Brands is a legit big distributor. That's all that matters. Pokemon owns the printing group, and now they own the distributor, the big distributor, and this distributor does specialize in giving stuff to Walmart, Target, and the big box stores. This isn't going to be a distributor that really focuses on giving it to your local gaming store. That's not going to be these guys. I have a business degree, so sorry if I use stupid words that are big for no reason. That's how they make college too complicated for people on purpose. But basically, this is just a move called vertical integration. They have more control, right? They don't have to pay a distributor extra money to do their thing when they own the distribution company now. It's the same MSRP, but now they have more margin and more control. So that aside, here's how it actually affects you. So there's a conspiracy that distributors, when they get Pokemon cards, the second wave of product, they don't have to sell it at that low price. It's not in the contract. They don't have to do that. So they'll send a little bit out, wait a couple weeks, and then send more stuff out and jack the prices up based on demand. Some people say Pokemon is cool with it. Some say they're not. But for Pokemon to acquire Excell Brands means they absolutely are investing. Pokemon is investing not only in owning the printing group, not only owning the biggest, manufacturing facility for cards ever, but also they own the distribution network now. And it's a really good one. Pokemon now has more control over the distribution price before it ever hits a local gaming store, a Walmart, a Target, whatever. They also now have more control over timing of releases. They have more control over availability. They're spending all of this money for their own distribution network just so they don't have to see another situation occur where something blows up in their face or they don't have full control over their product. Pokemon doesn't want to feel like they don't have control over their product, especially with the way, things are being scalped and prices are sky high. They don't necessarily want the prices to be as high as they are because of all the negativity that comes with not having the availability. They want to make as much money as possible, but they want you to have a chance to buy it because they'll make more money that way. When Pokemon bought Millennium Print Group, us geniuses on the internet thought that this would fix distribution chaos, production chaos, things like that. It didn't. Product was still being leaked. Cards were still being stolen. We thought the cards wouldn't be at least stolen anymore. Still happen. Literally on TikTok, you see cards getting stolen off production lines. And a lot of people are frustrated because seemingly the Pokemon Company International is not doing anything about all this nonsense. We don't ever see anyone get in trouble over this. So this tells us that owning the infrastructure, owning all of this stuff, making all these big moves, that doesn't mean they're going to execute on it perfectly. So you got to think, owning Excell, it's not going to fix theft. It's not going to fix leaks. It's not going to fix miscommunication. It might not even fix bad launch logistics, which we're seeing a lot of. Ascended Heroes was released January 30th, and now it's February 19th. We still don't have the Elite Trainer box. We don't have it. They just didn't give it to us. We have packs. We don't have the booster bundles. We don't have the ETB. You want to know what we did get, though? What we did get was a $37 sticker collection with Ghastly. 3 whole packs come in this, and it's $37 because Pokemon can't release things right. They don't coordinate their releases well. ME1, aka Mega Evolution, had multiple waves. It was a multiple wave release, and I think Phantasmal Flames might have been a multiple wave release. Pokemon doesn't like to do that. They don't like that. Pokemon wants a strong initial release. This tells you their demand modeling or their forecasting was off, or their distribution timing was shit. So if printing capacity is increasing and distribution is tightening, then it makes sense that they would have less messy releases. Will it happen immediately? No, definitely not. They will mess up. They will continue to mess up. It's Pokemon. They're going to mess up. But over time, does this help the problem? Maybe. GT Collectibles and Toys sells on Walmart.com. Here's an official address that they have to post to sell on Walmart. So if you look at the address, you'll see something funny. MJ Holdings Company? The same address? What? But that's impossible. That would mean MJ Holdings is selling on Walmart.com. So Pokemon doesn't own MJ Holdings, and that's why MJ Holdings is literally just going to keep doing this stuff, right? MJ Holdings, when they got called out, did delete all the Pokemon stuff, which makes us think Pokemon got pissed at them, or Walmart, one or the other, who knows. If Walmart owns Excell, then we're not going to see Excell ever be able to do this, because Pokemon can't undercut Pokemon. They want to control the MSRP, and they're going to sell things exactly how they want. But none of this is important until it affects you, right? Like, you clicked on this video to see how does it affect you as a buyer, someone who might buy some Pokemon cards. How does it actually impact you? We see Magic the Gathering getting all these lawsuits with their parachute plan, where they're just overprinting on purpose because they need to make the money. One Piece is owned by Bandai. Bandai purposely underprints. Bandai asks for demand. How much do you want? And then they purposely print less because it makes their prices increase. And everyone's like, man, I just can't seem to get this. And it makes the card seem super cool, right? It's hard to get. Pokemon is actually investing in infrastructure because they can't print enough. And demand is still high. And the prices, have you seen Dust and Rivals booster boxes? Prices are sky high. Now they are strengthening their ability to print more, print faster, and scale as a company. They're going to make more dollars every single time a booster pack is sold. Pokemon's going to scale this like a motherfucker. They're going to leave these other TCGs in the dust. They're still actively investing in this. With all of these crazy business moves they're making, Pokemon is just not slowing down, bro. But it also means something that you might hate. Pokemon did double down on giving product to Walmart and Target and Costco and these big box stores because Excell Brands specializes in selling to these big box companies. So these retail stores, not your local gaming store where you actually go and enter tournaments or whatever, these retail stores are still going to get the unfair price advantage where Southern Hobby or these other distributors are allowed to jack up prices and sell to your LGS. And then you're going to cry that your LGS dares to sell a pack for more than $4.25 when they bought it for $8, So this, once again, gives small businesses a disadvantage, and it gives big businesses even more of an advantage. I mean, I hope that we see fewer staggered releases, waves, stronger launches. But if they don't clean their act up with actually executing on where they're putting their money, if they don't actually execute on this, we're still going to see sloppy stuff. Still sloppy stuff. There's a lot of S's there. So basically, this is a smart move for Pokemon financially. It increases their margins. It increases their control. It reduces their reliance on third parties like MJ Holdings, who again do stuff like this with a subsidiary. So that's good. But it's not going to fix leaks on the internet. It's not going to fix the theft problem, because it doesn't matter who ends up owning the distribution centers. If someone wants to steal, they're still going to steal. So it's not going to fix that. And if Pokemon makes a launch mistake, it's not going to fix that either. There has been an overwhelming operational discipline problem, and Pokemon acquiring Excell Brands is not automatically going to fix that. It's just that now they have fewer excuses. We can't just blame distro for messing everything up now, because Pokemon is the distro now. So the TLDR is Pokemon increased their printing capacity. They tightened their distribution. They make more sorry, my voice is weird. They make more dollars per pack sold now, and there's a lot of packs being sold. Like, these are serious infrastructure plays here. And for you, that means less reliance on the chaos of distributors not doing what Pokemon wants. There should be more focus on timing, more focus on allocations. There should be better speed with it all. With all these business moves, the whole release environment is maturing now. So if you don't know, I do sell Pokemon cards, and this might change how I do things. Every time Pokemon is in the news for making a business decision, I always think in the back of my mind, how does this affect me now? In the future, when the new printing facility is a go and Excell Brands is, working, they are the distribution now. There's going to be faster restocks. I'm not going to treat sold out as a permanent thing anymore. Before buying from like the secondary market and paying stupid prices like this, the release, might be staggered differently than how MJ Holdings does it in Walmart. Instead of Instead of relying on these scarcity spikes, there's something we call scarcity spikes here. There might be a better way to shift profit to pre-orders. The replenish cycles are going to be more predictable, and that means more buying opportunities if you can predict when things are going to be replenished. That could affect things like my inventory turnover rate. And I know that's a stupid, boring, big word that means nothing to you guys, but like that can help me make money faster. It also might mean less Pokemon product, now that I think about it, for other distributors. So other Pokemon distributors might get less now that they own a distribution facility. They own the whole company. They might give less product to these guys because they're distributing on their own. And they make more money when they distribute on their own because they own the damn facility. They own the whole company. So actually, this really could hurt LGSs. So if that's true, then the game really would be monitoring like Walmart.com, Target. They're going to have more releases or stronger releases like pre-orders and stuff, instead of you go there and then you move the mouse funny and they think you're a bot, and then it took you 14 minutes, and because it didn't take you 12 minutes, it took you 14 minutes. Nope, sorry, they're sold out. Meanwhile, actual bots bought a bunch. Maybe because they're distributing their own stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's going to fix that. It also means that because they can control the distribution now, depending on how they're going to release things, it's going to affect how much cash you might want or how much credit you might want available during different times as a seller. Hopefully, by you watching this video with the mood I'm in, now you're less of a spectator and you're more of an operator. Hopefully, I gave you some actionable advice with this crap. And I will tell you, with businesses, infrastructure moves, they're quiet. Like, this is quiet. I don't know if anyone else is going to cover this, because most people are like, it changes nothing. And to a point, they're true. That's true. But these business moves that aren't that exciting, these are the ones that last. And once this happens and once things start to change, the amateurs are going to start complaining. And the people who are prepared are the ones that are going to be happy. Sellers know about this months to years in advance, and they still aren't going to change their behavior. And then the weakest 10% every month get cut off, and those businesses die out, bro. But when it's time and you're already ready, and if you can adapt early, then you stay strong. Don't be one of those people that chases the spike. Don't be one of the people that doesn't know what to do. Because when all of these things come to fruition, and you see the prices start to decrease and the spikes aren't as big, you might think there's less opportunity to make money with Pokemon. Sure, for some people. But also, when that happens, the market didn't get harder. The market just got more structured. And when the market gets more structured, it's going to reward the people who are informed and who are able to adapt. And when things are less chaotic like this, the people who can be precise, the people who are ready, those are the people that win. And when everyone is complaining about pull rates, every set they have it, Evolving Cries, the pull rates are trash, don't open, what do I do? This is so hard, Pokemon sucks. Everyone's complaining. You right now are watching a video about informed supply chain. I word these titles in a way where they're not going to get a lot of views, but they're going to attract the kind of viewer I want. And you're the kind of person, when you watch stuff like this, it doesn't look as chaotic. You kind of start to understand why the shelves are empty, why the prices are going up. You kind of sort of get what's happening here, don't you? Like, you can kind of start to understand how it's a game for these businesses. It's a game for the scalpers. It's a game for the LGSs. It's all a game here. It's all about money. You follow the money, you kind of start to see what happens. You get the good guys, and you have the bad guys, and you have the guys selling for MSRP, you have the guys scalping, and you have the guys, I sold for under MSRP, and I lost a bunch of money selling Pokemon that way. And cool, like, it made people really happy, but also it made people really mad at me, and not the people you think. The people who weren't fast enough to click on buy because I sold out so fast, they threatened me. They sent me hate mail. And it's like, I would have made less people mad if I would have sold for more, and I would have had money to continue my hobby way longer. So it's like, it's a weird game when you start to track how things actually play out versus how you think they play out. So if you like this weird Pokemon business news style of video, give me a subscribe. It really helps me out. And you could also watch this video. I don't know what I'm going to put. I'm just going to put the video that YouTube thinks you should watch. So if you click on this video, YouTube thinks you should watch it. So it's probably good. Maybe click on that. I don't know. Give me some love. Okay. See you. Bye now. Bye. See you. Bye.